Yeah.
No kidding. That's the best piece of news. So we've been talking. If we want things to get better, so...
Things are tough now, but they'll get better.
You know that settlement you sent me to help? They've decided to join the Minutemen.
That's great news. I knew you were the right person for the job. By the way, you should have one of these flare guns. You can use it to signal for help from any nearby Minutemen. Not much use yet, but once we have more allied settlements, you'll have help whenever you need it. I don't think I ever told you what happened to the Minutemen. How I ended up as the last one.
I figured you'd tell me when you were ready.
Have you heard of the Quincy Massacre?
Your group came from Quincy, didn't you?
That's right. Gunners was attacking Quincy. The people there called for the Minutemen to help. We were the only one. Only a few of us got. We never found.
As long as you don't...
I'm not about to give. That's why I'm talking.
That means a lot coming from you, Garvey.
I appreciate.
Okay.
Finally, something going the Commonwealth's way.
Good. Good. Welcome aboard. I feel like this is a whole new start for the Minutemen, and the Commonwealth too. Don't worry. I'll be right beside you all the way, General.
That's quite a promotion you just gave me.
The leader of the Minutemen has always held the rank. Our last leader, the one good, now it's yours. I've got something a bit different for you. Once you clear it out, set up a radio beacon to let settlers know about it. Before you know it, we'll have a thriving new farm instead of wasteland. We'll take back the Commonwealth. One... piece at a time.
Hey, let me ask you something.
Sure. Ask away.
It's just, with everything that's happened with you and your family, it's a whole hell of a lot to process. I wanted to make sure you're holding up all right.
Yeah, I'm all right.
Huh. You're a tougher nut than I thought. Tougher than I was. Took me a long damn time to get a feel for this place. Thank goodness I found Diamond City. It's got its flaws, sure, but it beats the hell out of anywhere else in the Commonwealth. Of course, when I took up there back when, people were just as scared of the Institute as they are now. Maybe more. The massacre of the CPG was still plenty of people, but at the time, they couldn't exactly.
Why'd they let you in?
Because I'd rescued the mayor's daughter. Gal of about 15. Pride and joy of the mayor back then. Man by the name of Henry Roberts. The young miss... Turns out the guy was part of a gang of kidnappers. I took her home, taking up and...
Sure. Was it hard, settling in?
Well, I started off doing the... But I guess folks never forgot.
Right.
Wife, an upset father decides moving him and the kids to Good Neighbor in the dead of night. After a while. Hell, I was so happy. I never stopped being Nick the Synth. But it was Nick that... It was about then that it took me a... That was a long... I think we ought to talk.
Okay.
We've just been traveling a while now, and I figure there hasn't exactly been equitable distribution of information. A lot about me. I figured I'd offer to balance the board. So, is there anything you want to know?
So, who are you, Nick?
That's a question I've been trying to figure out myself for a long damn time. I know I'm a synth. Authentic Institute handiwork. But I'm still mechanical. Not bioengineered like the fancy synths giving everyone the willies these days. I get tune-ups now instead of checkups. But my memories, my personality, they're all lifted from some cop who volunteered for an experiment back before the war. They scanned his brain. Don't know why they chose to... Hey.
Wait, the original Nick was from my time?
Sure was. Which meant when I finally ended up out here, it was quite the rude awakening. I remember waking up one day in a garbage heap, a body in tatters and a head full of memories belonging to a man who'd been dead for 200 years. Suffice to say, it was a confusing couple of weeks. Folks didn't really know much about synths back then, so when I finally ran into people, they mostly treated me with caution rather than hostility. But the kids, they weren't afraid. I think his name was Jim. The first person to actually speak to me after I got the boot from the Institute. My first human contact in this world. Grilled me for an hour. Once they'd seen I wasn't going to hurt anyone, the other folks in the neighborhood came out to ogle the mechanical man. It eventually turned into a pretty swell soiree. A local mechanic even gave me a once-over, free of charge. Those people, they treated me like a human being. I've been trying to return the favor ever since. It's a surprisingly rare trait out here sometimes. It's something I've noticed you got a fondness for. Part of the reason I've stuck around this long.
Where's that town? We should go visit.
I tried to go back and say thanks once I'd gotten myself established. But the place was wiped off the map. Raiders. Don't know what happened to the people.
I do what's needed.
Well, you certainly seem to judge doing good pretty high on your list of necessities. Well, I expect you're about as bored as can be listening to me rattle my skeletons. We should probably head out.
I'm sorry. I wouldn't be very good company right now.
Hello, ma'am.
Attention. Tomorrow's tactical briefing has been postponed. A new time and date will be forthcoming.
Nothing to report right now.
Can't talk right now.
Gotta clean the Mirelux scat off my boots.
I'm gonna run some diagnostics while you're tinkering. Take your time.
You disgust me.
Not. Much of a sight yourself.
Can I help you with anything?
Let me see what you have.
All of my weapons are mission ready.